already said.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Yard Show. As you can see tonight, our perspective for the newbie is Barry Tubwell.
Howdy.
Yay!
Howdy, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Look, I hear you.
Nope, I muted it. I muted it right away. I'm on it.
Okay. Well, as you did the pop-up in the drive-by last Wednesday, and then after the show, we asked you if you wanted to come on. I suggested by Golden Finger Picker, and you said yes. So here we are. We didn't have to wait that long.
No, I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad to be here. Answer any questions you guys got. Tell my story. You know, whatever you guys want and need. I'm here.
Well, the first question is, let everybody know a little bit about yourself since you don't have a channel yet. So I don't know where they can get a hold of you for questions if they have any that you're willing to, or able to answer, and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. If you want to get a hold of me right now, ain't gonna happen. Don't have a channel, and I'm not out there right now. Soon though. So that's that. And what was the second part of your question?
Just let everybody know what.
A little bit about me. So I would say about 6 months ago, I started doing eBay. What I started with was like a couple of shirts that my brother found in his taxi cab. He found a couple of Graham something, this real famous guy that makes these shirts. Anyway, they were nice. They were super nice. They were brand new with tags. I sold them on eBay and got like $70 or something like that. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome, right? Until I went to ship them. I didn't know nothing about eBay with the printing the labels and all. I didn't know none of that crap. So I handwritten down the information and stuff. I marched it on in there to FedEx. I'm like, hey man, you know, I tried to box this stuff up. Man, I don't know how to box this stuff. Can you box this stuff up for me? Sure, we can do that. No problem. You got 2 shirts, we'll box it up for you. I'm like, okay, cool, man. So let's box it up. Let's get this thing sent. Okay, we got it boxed up. Where are you sending it to? So I gave them the information, wrote it all down. And they're like, okay, great. So for the boxing and stuff, that's $18. And to send it out, that's $18. So go ahead and slide us $36. I'm like, what? 2 shirts? To send out 2 shirts? I'm like, wow, man. So I think I made, I think I probably made 10 or 15 bucks after it was all said and done. I mean, it was a good welcome to freaking eBay, and oh yeah, welcome to shipping.
All the things you couldn't do wrong, you did.
That's right. That's right. Right on the first go. So,
well, at least you made money on the shirts. It wasn't like a $20 shirt and it cost you $36 to ship. You know, then
right.
That's even a little worse. So,
right. So that's kind of how I very, very first started.
Very cool.
Yeah. And what you to the YouTube, watching YouTube, like just from that sale, or because I know you on Wednesday you said that you found Chad and then you found everybody that was around him.
Right. So what happened was, I mean, I'm a professional YouTube watcher. You know, I love watching YouTube. So I saw this guy that runs another channel, and he does Amazon stuff. He's heavy into Amazon, hard body karate into Amazon. And he's a good dude. And I was watching his channel and seeing all this FBA money, and I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a beast at FBA. You know what I mean? I'm with that. I'm all about it. Right? And then that guy, I forgot what his name was, he had Chad on his channel. And then I watched that show, and I showed Chad talk about the quick flip, and you get your money back the same day with PayPal and this and that. And I was like, you know what? I might want to dabble a little bit into that, man. And by the way, who is this Chad dude? I started following him after that, and that's kind of, you know, how I started with it all.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you hit you got to the right person at the very beginning, and that's always a good thing because you know, Chad's a good guy, and he's not going to steer you wrong. So,
right. And from him, you know, from watching like his channel, you know, in time I was able to find, you know, a whole bunch of other channels like yours, like States Place, you know, Ronnie Hart, you know, things like that. So but I just got so lucky by finding him right away. Like it was amazing.
So you stayed with eBay. Are you still doing FBA, or did you just say
I've never sent a package in the FBA. I have no plans to. I thought about it for a little while, and then I just kept flipping. And with, you know, Chad's way of, you know, showing you how to flip, I flip stuff in hours, in days, hardly ever weeks. And I mean, I just love the quick flip and the rush from that. And I don't think I could do FBA unless I just got a big old shipment or something and I just had to send it in or something like that. But yeah. So
well, just so you know, Chad just made a comment. Yay! We got him before he got snagged into FBA. Laugh out loud. eBay rules.
Yeah.
So are you a part-time reseller or a full-time reseller?
Yeah, I am part-time. I'm put it like this. I'm about 85% reseller right now, and I do a little bit of Facebook work for people. I do ads and stuff like that for different, you know, companies and stuff like that. I just got a few clients, not a lot. So that's kind of like what it is now. Even if I do full time, there's only like one client that I have right now that I'll stick with because they kind of helped me with my my eBay stuff when I was kind of doing bad, and I'll get into that in a minute. Like actually, I'll get into that right now. Like when I first started, you know, flipping on eBay, I didn't really grasp the concept of pay later as far as the eBay fees. So when the pay later eBay fees came up and they were like a few $100s, like $400 or $500, I was like, wow, man, what am I going to do? So, you know, I had to hustle and grind, and I actually asked Chad. I was like, Chad, what do you think I should do, man? I don't know what's going on. And he was like, man, you know, you need to pay that bill and, you know, get things settled and stuff. So, you know, I got through it. It was tough, but yeah, man.
So what do you do now? Do you pay weekly or daily, or do you just save money for the monthly, you know, fee drop?
Well, what I do differently now is I don't do a lot of the FedEx stuff. I try to do almost everything USPS.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So instead of my bills being $800 now to be $200. Mm-hmm. So, you know, with $200, I don't really worry about it too much.
Gotcha. See, myself, I usually do. I pay like every Friday. One of my things is I just pay all my eBay bill. You know, then it never really gets out of hand. You know, it can get up to a couple $100 or something, but it never goes too crazy. I just pay it every Friday, and you know, then I know where I am at the beginning of the weekend with, you know, cash on hand.
Yeah, that's smart.
What can I go spend and not regret it later?
That's smart. I haven't reached that level of smartness yet, but I strive to.
It's always the little things that get you.
We do have a question from Chicago Crown Hustler. Wants to know if you sold the printer ink yet.
Have I sold the printer ink yet?
Yes.
Nope. I still got that stuff in my freaking closet, man. I need to donate it or something like that, man. Man, I've had that ink for probably 4 months or something like that. Yeah. there's good ink and bad ink. I didn't know this, but the good ink, you know what I mean? It sells real quick, and the bad ink, man, it sits. So yeah.
Right. I'll tell you one thing I used to do. I used to do e-waste scrap, right? And I would get a lot of empty cartridges. And if you go to Staples, they'll give you $2 in credit for every one you bring in. I mean, I don't know if you can get more than that just dumping it on Craigslist or something, but yeah, Staples would give you like $2 for every one. So
okay,
and then it's usually a credit. So I mean, you can buy paper or whatever the heck you're gonna buy stuff from Staples anyway, more than likely with having a business. So that's just one thought if you don't have any other options.
Right. Well, I mean, I could always bring it out to the swap meet. You know, everything goes out there at the swap meet, man. You could have a stuffed cat, and that thing will sell out there at the swap meet.
Yeah, we'll get into that more because now that we've been talking, I'm like, wait, now we gotta get on another topic because for like your Facebook advertising,
Right.
people might want to do that for their Facebook pages or something like that to work something in to make some money that way too. So
Okay.
we got a question from Henry.
Right. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you test the video games before you sell them?
Sorry, Chad, but no, I don't. I look at them and I see if the disc is scratched up too badly, and if it's not, then I send them. And I know Chad says you always test everything. But you know what? When it's a video game, if it's cheap, I'll send it out, man. And if somebody complains, which they have before, instant refund. Now, if it's a higher end video game, if it's $80, $100, $200, and I've had some of those, then I will test those. As a matter of fact, if I can dab into that, I would say about a month and a half into my reselling, I hit what you guys call a home run, and this was a great one. This was when I had an eBay bill that was like $800. I didn't know what to do. And I was grinding, and man, oh man, I had given out my business card. Chad always preaches, "Get out your business card. Push them business cards. You got to give them out there, right?" So I finally got some, and I gave them out. And there's this one store that gives out my business cards to people. And somebody called me from them, and they're like, "Hey, we got video games. You wanna check them out? You wanna buy them?" So I came over there. I was close, and they had some video game stuff. And they're like, "Well, we got some more stuff at the house, way more. We'll call you in a little bit, and you can, come check it out, or we'll come to you." So they end up coming by my house because they had a lot of stuff. And turns out I bought from them like 2 boxes. I mean, there was probably 100 games in each one of these boxes of Super Nintendo video games. And I'm talking about Mega Man X3, and I'm talking about all that stuff. And a lot of it was in box. And the stuff that was in box was mint. You could just damn near say it was new. And I got each box for $100.
Nice. $1 a game. You can't go wrong with that when you have some $20 or $30 games that you were naming there. So
no, like $200-$300 games. I mean, it was crazy, like crazy. So that, and then just for fun, for about a week, I saw them like every day or once every couple days, and then they said, "All right, well, you like that Nintendo stuff? How about this Sega CD stuff that we've got? That's even more rare than that. Just go ahead and slide us $100 for this big box of freaking games." And I did that, and that was like crazy. And they're like, "Oh, you like that? Okay, well, cool. Well, how about these old vintage freaking posters that we've got that they hang up at GameStops and stuff like that, and some of those standees that are actually in the box that have the Nintendo stamp on there, and some more coolness. How about that for like $50?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not? You know what I mean? Just pour it on." So for about a week, I milked that one resource, man, and that one resource, so far to date, that was my biggest home run right there, man.
So are you sure they didn't rob like a GameStop and just start pawning stuff off on you?
No, they didn't rob. They didn't rob a GameStop. What happened was, first of all, the stuff was from like 96 or something like, or 2006 or something like that. It was really old. What happened is the lady that sold it to me, her ex-husband used to work at this place, and he was stacking up games and games and games and games. And when they got a divorce, she got all that stuff along with some other stuff in the divorce. And she didn't care about that stuff. You know what I mean? She's like, take this stuff. I don't give a shit about it. Give me a few $100, whatever. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how it went.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect example of just networking, putting your name out there and getting that call. Because had you not done what you had done with the business cards, that would have went to somebody else.
Yep.
Networking is so huge in our line of work here.
Yeah.
So
I listen to Chad. You know what I mean? He was all on me about the freaking cards. He was on everybody really. He was talking about the cards, and I kept going to yard sales, and people would be like, "Give me your card, give me your card," and I didn't have a damn card, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna bite the bullet and buy some cards. You know what I mean? And they're not much, but when you're out there and you're just starting, and it's kind of I don't know, man. But anyway, I got some cards and it was all good.
Well, and it definitely shows, you're more professional if you have a card. You're not just some guy, scraping by. You actually are professional enough to have a card and that people can get a hold of you. So it's important.
Yeah. And another thing I thought about before I had the card, I was like, well, what if I got the card and they can actually see that I'm a reseller? Ooh, they see that I'm a reseller, they're not going to want to sell to me. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, nah, we're not going to let you make any money off of us. But you know what? People don't give a shit. They don't.
As long as you're paying them money.
People don't give a shit, man. Now, they will always try to tell you, well, on eBay it sells for this, and on eBay it sells for that, but it doesn't matter if you're a collector, a reseller, just a regular person, you're going to always deal with that stuff. So,
absolutely. Oh, let's see. Chris Nice had a question. He said, Barry, do you do RA?
No, I don't. Not really. That doesn't mean that I won't ever do it. It's just that I don't do it at the moment, and I haven't sought out an opportunity to do it, although I'm sure that there's plenty of stuff out there, but I'm just into some other stuff right now that's taking up my time. But maybe after I'm more established in what I'm doing now, and I can start to look for other stuff, I might dabble in RA.
Sure. You got a question, Chris?
Well, actually, I was gonna see. You were talking before the show. You were talking about your relatives that you're living with.
Right.
Have your nephews picked up the bug to resell?
What? That's a great question. My one nephew, I have two nephews that I stay here with, and my brother. And my one nephew, he comes out to the swap meets with me on the weekends, and he is just amazing out there at reselling. You know what I mean? It's not eBay, but it's still reselling. And he's amazing out there. Like I can leave him at our stand and go for an hour and go out hunting for stuff. And I come back and everything, he's been selling, and there's not a lot of stuff been stolen, and it's just all good, So yeah, they've picked it up a little bit, not wholeheartedly, because they're probably a little too young and that kind of stuff. And they're looking at girls and stuff. And I mean, you got girls. Well, I mean, you got girls on one hand, you got reselling on the other. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, girls win every single time. As a matter of fact, I'd put girls up against anything. Like you got girls here, and then anything could be here. I'd put them against that. Girls win every time.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, it was called the fume problem, perfume and car fumes. Those ruled the world. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not seeing any other questions in the chat, and I didn't actually write any down because I was wanted to shoot the breeze this time because
Yeah, absolutely.
You're so new that like you were wanting to talk about certain things yourself. So I was like, well, we'll just go with the flow and get to those topics when you get there. Like you do live in Vegas, and you wanted to talk about the liquidation, but you wanted to break it down into steps how you get there.
Right. So okay. So as far as my maturation with eBay, I told you guys about that killer score. And then after the killer score, maybe a few weeks after that, my brother's car got stolen.
Uh-oh.
So my brother's car got stolen just for fun, right? I'm into this whole eBay thing. I'm like, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. The car got stolen. What? I can't do anything without the car. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And fortunately, my brother, he works as a taxi driver, and they sell cars there. They sell like, old taxi cars there. They fix them up, whatever, and sell them. So I think maybe 4 days went by or 3 days went by, and he actually bought a car. Put a couple bucks down, and paid like every week or whatever, and bought one of the cars there. So I got back mobile again. But man, there's nothing more frightening than your car getting stolen, or one of your only ways of getting around and doing what you do just instantly just gets cut off like that, man. So it was terrifying for a while. You know how you guys talk about the highs and lows? Well, that was a fucking low, man. That was super low right there.
Well, you're talking to the right person. Walking picker there, he doesn't have a...
Wow, that's kind of echo.
Yeah, where did the echo come from?
I don't know. I haven't touched any of my speakers.
Yeah, well, I didn't either. No, anyway. All right, we got a whole slew of questions going for you now.
Okay.
All right, Chad wants to know, what are you looking forward to branching out on and learning?
I'm looking forward to just learning more about like toys and stuff like that, because like I like toys, you know what I mean? I like to sell toys. I like to buy toys. I like the smile on kids' face when I go to the swap meets on the weekends. When a kid freaking grabs a toy and just holds it, I want it, Mama, I want it, and they don't give it up. And man, it's just awesome. And you're not going to get that selling car tires and other stuff like that. Not that there's anything bad about car tires. I'm just saying, I like toys. So I want to expand in a lot of other things, but right now I'm having some good luck with toys and video games and just stuff like that. So I'm just trying to kind of learn about these niches as I go, and kind of go from there.
That's cool. So now you said that you go to a flea market, or is that what you call it? Swap meet. Okay, that's what you guys call them. All right. Is that where you do your majority of your sourcing, or do you go to thrift stores or garage sales, that kind of stuff, or where do you source mostly?
That's a killer question, because before the winter came here and the all the rain and the cold weather, it was first, it started out 90% at the thrift stores, and then I found yard selling, and I was like, yard selling is the best thing ever. I'm never going to stop yard selling. I love yard selling. I love this stuff. I wish they had yard sales every day. I would go. By the way, I wish they do have yard sales. I would go right now. So yard selling was cool, and then the freaking winter came, and then guess what? Yard selling kind of just stopped out here. There's a little bit, and now it's starting to pick up. But then I luckily found some other avenues, and then I found this website called liquidation.com. And liquidation.com, they have offices or warehouses in different cities throughout the U.S. And you can buy pallets from them, you can buy boxes from them, or if you want, you can buy a whole goddamn truckload of stuff from them in different categories. And right now, I've been doing a lot of sourcing from them, because the stuff that they have in their pallets, about 10% of it I can sell on eBay. And the rest of the stuff that would be a pain in the ass to sell on eBay, guess what? I bring it right out there to the swap meet, put a smile on those kids' face, and it's a win-win, man. So that's kind of that's one of the main sources of my sourcing is the liquidation.com. And now that the yard sales are coming back, you know, I'll be hard body karate in the yard selling too. Like I said, I'm just starting out, so I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just, I'm still learning. 6 months in sounds like a long time, but it's really not.
You know what? I've been doing it for 3.5 years, and you're constantly learning. It's a never-ending process of learning, because you think you got it figured out, and then something else, then you'll find, estate sales. Oh my God, these are the best thing ever. And then you go play with those for a while, and there's always a bright and shiny thing that we're looking at, and that's great. Let's go do that.
Yeah. If I can follow up on that sourcing question though, I did go to the bins. We have bins out here in Las Vegas. What are they called? The Goodwill donation centers, where you can just, pick through stuff like savages. Oh, that's crazy. They freaking pull the damn thing and I love it, right? So I went through that stuff a few times, and it's cool. You can find some cool stuff there. Mostly clothes, but they do have other stuff. So that's a cool thing to do too, is sourcing at the bins. It's definitely, the great thing about watching like Nicole State's channel is you can see from the way she does stuff that if you have bins in your area, or if you could just go and buy clothes at garage sales or just whatever, you can make some fucking good money on eBay, man. Period. Just period. No matter how much you got, $50, $30, it doesn't matter. All you need to do is know what to buy, or just an idea of what to buy. List that shit. Don't sit on nothing. List it, and you're going to start making sales.
Yep. Everything will sell. It's just whether or not you buy it at cheap enough to make money.
Right.
Let's see. Northeast Victor said, what part of the U.S. are you from? You said you're in Vegas now, but that's not where you're from, correct?
Yeah, no, that's not where I'm from. The I'm from question is a bit difficult to answer, but I was born in New York. I came out to California when I was 11. Stayed out there until maybe 5 years ago, and then I came out to Vegas. Mostly San Diego and the Bay Area. Lived in San Francisco for quite a while. Absolutely love San Francisco. In my opinion, San Francisco is the best city in the world, and that's just how I feel. If you don't like it, we can fight, because I like it. I love San Francisco. We can fight about it. I don't care.
Okay, no fighting over cities, all right? We're all from somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. But I love San Francisco. I pulled up to San Francisco on the one horse that was left in San Diego. I rode that sucker all the way up to San Francisco. That thing was tired. The hooves were freaking smoking and shit. I hopped off that motherfucker, and I was like, I'm here. And I looked around, and man, after a couple of days of just being there, I was 19 years old. A couple of days I was being there, I was like, I'm never leaving. I am never leaving, man. I just love it.
And here you are in Vegas.
Here I am.
20 years later.
Yeah.
You could get back to San Francisco and pay the bills to live there, huh?
The thing is San Francisco had its run with me. I had a great time there, but now I feel like I can live it almost anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be in any particular city, especially with what we do. So as I get better in this reselling, and I get my funds up and things like that, then I plan to go to different places and maybe travel. Like I said, this summer I might just do some traveling. I mean, I can either stay here where it's 115 degrees every day in the summer, or guess what? I could buy myself a little van or something like that, and travel throughout the U.S. and do the same thing, but have some fun. So,
Salt Lake City is only about 6 hours from Vegas, right?
Yeah.
You could come up and visit me.
Yeah.
It's not quite as hot here. I mean, we're in the 90s and the hundreds, but not like 115, 120 like you.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great idea. I mean, maybe I could just, visit a bunch of people in the reseller society this summer. Just boom, 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 as I'm hitting different cities and different states, say howdy and, have people show me the ropes in their neck of the woods. I mean, that would make for a great freaking show too. I mean, so who knows?
Yeah. Definitely interesting. So let's see. We got another question. What's the oddest thing you've bought? This is from Glenn.
The oddest thing I've bought?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I haven't really bought a lot of odd stuff. Darn it. Can we come back to that one? I have to think about that one.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see. Turtle Trader wants to know if you have a store.
No, I don't have an eBay store. No.
Are you thinking of getting one?
Huh?
Are you thinking of getting one?
I will, of course, I will. Yeah.
And since you're a quick flipper, how many items do you have in your store right now?
7.
You have 7?
Yeah, 7. And I'll be listing tonight. I'll probably list about
3.
I'll probably, to be honest, I'll probably list about 15 things or 20 things, and in 3 days they'll be gone. Like stuff just goes so quick. Like Chad, he's not fucking bullshitting, man. With this quick flip stuff, if you get the right product at the right price with the right pictures, there's no reason for it to sit more than a few days. And I don't care how many items you have. You could list 300 items a day. If it's the right stuff, like if you got video games, or if you've got, stuff that's just hot or even kind of hot that people are looking for a little bit, it's just going to sell in a few days. I had told Chad my picker name would be the 5-day flipper, because nothing usually lasts in my store for longer than 5 days. And it is annoying. It is annoying to have stuff to, you're like, I got a list. And you list it and everything's selling. You're like, damn, I don't have a lot of stuff in my store. So you're like, maybe I need to go out and buy longer tail stuff. And then I go out and buy some longer tail stuff, and I get frustrated that it doesn't sell. So hey man, if I have 7 items in my store in a year from now and I'm killing it, flipping real quick, then that's what it is.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, we are getting a few comments on your language in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying it, but they're. Hey, we're not, we're civilized here.
Okay.
I'm just giving you a hard time, but if we can, because there are some
some people
a little more sensitive people.
Okay, I got you.
All right, cool. Let's see.
Northeast Picker wants to know: have you sourced at gold and silver pawn?
I went there one time, and it's just I don't know what's the right way to say it. It's kind of like Disneyland now, There's nothing there but tourists. That's all. It's just nothing but tourists. There's nobody there really doing any business. They're selling T-shirts and stuff, and that's about it. Yeah, there's nothing there.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Is it's. I mean, it's not even a full functioning pawn shop anymore for reals.
Right.
Just because of the fame and stuff. So.
Yeah, and I was disappointed about that, because I love that show, and I watched it for years, and I thought that I would go there and see the guys and stuff like that, But now they weren't there. There were just these T-shirts there that they were selling.
Right? Yeah, they're $25, pawn T-shirts.
Yeah. It stings, man, because when you're a fan of something, like you're a fan of that show, and you go there and you see that kind of stuff, and you're like, man. I mean, I get it. I understand. As an adult, you got to make money and do things, but yeah.
One last question. Well, another question we have is from Vaughn. Yvonne, she wants to know, how did your friends and family take the reseller news?
How do they do what?
How did your family and friends take the reseller news?
Badly. My brother said within 30 days, I wouldn't be reselling anymore, and I'd be doing something else, and I'd be out driving a taxi with him. Nobody really cared, nobody really cared. And I would find stuff but back then some of the stuff that I would find, I'd be like, look at this VCR I found. I'm going to flip this thing, blah, blah, blah. And, I would still have the VCR here if I didn't donate it. But, nobody was really interested at the time. And now they've, now that I've been in it for quite a while, they're more accustomed to it, and they're cooler with it now, and they see that I've had some cool scores, so they're cooler with it now, but they're just lukewarm.
Sure. Well, and I think most everybody has that type of friends and family that look and go, oh, you must be crazy, but then as long as you stick with it and have a proven track record, then it's like, hey, I'm paying my bills. What's the problem here? Right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Let's see. What was I going to ask you? I had a question.
Well, while you're thinking, I'm going to ask this one. Who else besides Chad have you really gotten behind to learn things from?
To tell you the truth, like a lot of the video game sourcers that are out there, a lot of the guys that go out and hunt down video games. There's a few channels out there. What's this guy, Zombie Picker or something like that? The young guy, Kyle, you know what I mean? I like his channel. So there's a few other channels out there. Of course, I watch Ronnie's channel, Nicole's channel, pick up stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the video games. Quite a few people, hustle those. So there's some pretty good people out there. Orange Elephant is another one. Brock Parks, he does a little bit of that too. So, but yeah, there's quite a few people that do video games. Yeah. Uh-oh, I missed a question. Somebody says I missed a question, so I got to go back up and find it.
Yeah, you want to know if anybody used Pinterest to for their eBay store.
Oh,
I do it on occasion. I don't do it like normally every day like I should. What about you, Barry? Do you use any social media to advertise your 7 items?
No. Maybe when I get up to 14 items, I might open up Pinterest and go ahead and get a tweeter and all that stuff. I guess the closest I've gotten to that would be like Let Go and OfferUp. I do use those. Those are pretty cool.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So do you have a big local game there? Not counting the swap meet, but like you said, Let It Go, Craigslist. I mean, do you do a lot of hustling through those?
Yeah, I'll put it like this. It's probably 50% eBay, probably 20% Let Go, OfferUp, and then another 30% at the swap meet. So that's about how it goes.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about how it goes.
And Dwayne asked you this before the show, but for everybody that wants, since you are in Vegas, you haven't bumped into Jason T. Smith yet.
No, not that I know of. And you guys said that I would know him if I seen him, so no.
He's like 6'5", bald, with a huge beard, and runs around in shorts year round. So I'm thinking you probably would remember him if you saw him.
Yeah, no. I don't think I've seen them yet.
Okay, very good. All right, here's one. What is your favorite thing to sell? You said toys, but I mean, is there a specific toy that you really, you just like action figures? You're just like, boom, I love selling those. They sell every time.
No, I love selling video games.
Video games?
Video games is my favorite thing to sell.
Because
video games are like currency. They really are. If you know what you're looking for and what's hot, once you find that, you know what I mean? If the game works, it's going to sell. And the games that are hot like that, they'll sell within hours or a day. So video games are absolutely, for now, my favorite thing to sell. Although I do kind of like Legos.
That's cool. Very good.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about your liquidation.com stuff. When you buy that, you say is it like typically return items from stores, or is it expired stuff? I mean, what's on those type of those pallets?
They have expired. They have returns. They have brand new stuff, and they have salvage. And they do box loads, they do pallets, and they do truckloads. And I don't know how many destinations they got out in the U.S., but they have quite a few. And if you're near or even can get close to one, you can buy this stuff or they can sell it to you. As far as like categories, it's pretty much everything. They just have it in different sections, right? So if you buy, say, games and toys, that'll be in a section. So if you want like dolls and action figures and kid stuff and even like Legos and stuff like that, and even like drones, all that stuff will be in one category. The kids and toys category, the toys and games category, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Oh, here's a quick question that goes with what we're talking about. How does shipping work on liquidation.com? Does the bid price include shipping?
No, the bid price doesn't include shipping, and they're here in Las Vegas. They have a warehouse here in Las Vegas, so I don't need it shipped. I just go there and pick it up. They do offer shipping, but I haven't used it yet because I'm just locally. You know what I mean? But here's the thing, though. When you do buy it, the shipping price comes up on like how much it'll cost for them to ship it to you, and it's pretty big. You know what I mean? It's like $100 or whatever, right? And I've seen that just on like, for example, I bought a pallet. It had like maybe 7 boxes on there, and the shipping was like $100 from Vegas, and I'm in Vegas. So I couldn't imagine what it would be somewhere else. But the pricing on stuff is pretty low. I mean, on most pallets, they start at $100 and grow up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do they have good manifests so you know what you're getting? I mean, or is it? Can you do research on it?
Yeah, they do have it on. You know what they do? They're smart about it. They have good manifests on things that aren't so hot, but they have a section there that says video games. And you know what? They says we got 75 items of video games, media, and books or something like that. And then they show you some not blurred out. Let me not say that because they're a company, they might sue me. It's not blurred out stuff. They'll show you like 3 or 4 pictures of a few different items that are in the box, but you can't necessarily see what's all in the box. And on the manifest, it'll just say, 57 items, worth whatever. right, worth whatever. Let's say the worth, and then that's about it. But it's kind of a gamble.
Chris wanted to know if you'd ever bought anything off of Bulk, which is another liquidation.com site.
Not yet, but I look forward to buying stuff from Bulk and a bunch of other places. Like, to be honest, I just found liquidation.com maybe a few weeks ago. And I've already did 4 purchases from them. So I'm very, very happy with them. but I do look forward to buying from other liquidation companies. I mean, I'd love to find some that specialize like in action figures and Legos and things like that that are selling like hotcakes. Like they'd get a ton of my business. If, by the way, you guys in chat know any places out there that kind of specialize in those things, put it in the chat, please. I'd love to see that. Oh, can I show the doll thing that I wanted to?
Yeah, you do that now before we go to Chad's comment. I'm going to read off, and we have one more question so far.
Okay.
For you.
Okay. Okay. So I got this doll that I picked up recently, and I don't know too much about it. I wanted to see if you guys know anything about this doll. It's just I don't know. It's pretty well made. It's got this thing right here. It says 25. I don't know if you can see that or not. It says 25 with a key or something like that. So maybe somebody out there in the chat could recognize that and maybe tell me what that is or what it might be.
Is it all porcelain then?
It's
all hard, right? I mean, it's not.
Hard. Yeah, it's hard.
Okay, because some of them have like a porcelain head and a yarn body.
Yeah, no, it's all hard. Yeah, it's well made.
Cool. Chad says there should be a marking on the back of the head under the hair.
Yeah, I'll check it.
And we got a joke. Someone saying it's a Selena doll. I think they're trying to make a joke.
Right. Right. Why don't you go ahead and read Chad's thing while we're.
Okay. Well, Chad says, I have got to say, Barry, you are moving pretty darn fast for a newbie. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree, man. I haven't followed you quite like Chad or anything like that, but I do remember hearing about you quite a while ago, 3 or 4 months ago, and you were, getting your feet wet, and you're going to be a powerhouse, man. You got the right attitude, and it looks like you've got the right drive and the right network going. That sky's the limit.
Right. Speaking of Chad, and since I'm telling my story, like Chad has been a big part of it for me. Like in those early days, especially the early, first couple of months, I would hit Chad up every day, ask him different stuff, show him different stuff. You know what I mean? The man, it was like I was a baby in his arms and he had a bottle and he was just feeding me. I'm hungry. I want more. He was just feeding me. Like he really took time. He really nourished me, and it was awesome to have somebody like that really knows what they're doing, and like he wouldn't just give me tips on stuff. Like when I had some dark times, with the payments, and like at one time my by the way, my PayPal account got canceled. I didn't mention that part. Yeah, I might want to mention that part of my journey. My PayPal account got canceled. I had some situations where I had a couple of PayPal accounts, and I had a business account and a regular account, and my business account got canceled. And I was kind of scrambling, and I didn't know what to do. And I reached out to Chad, and he kind of told me a few things, and for probably about a week or so, I didn't have no PayPal account, and it was, you want to talk about stressful. That was monster stressful right there. Mm-hmm. I end up getting things sorted out with PayPal, and it's been smooth ever since. But man, that was another bump in the road. If anybody is watching this now or in the future, if you're just starting out, plan on bumps in the road. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Plan on bumps in the road. Don't even think about, well, if things could just be cool for a month or two. Nope. There ain't no a month or two. Plan on bumps in the road because they're coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why getting mentored by somebody it's been in the business for a while, they can sometimes help ease the effect of some of the mistakes you're going to make, and maybe catch them before you make them. That's for sure.
Right. And let me just follow up on this too. Like you guys were asking me, can people find me different places and stuff like that? Like I know I do need to pay this stuff forward. So, like, if anybody really wants to talk to me or needs my help or I want some suggestions, track me down on Facebook and send me a comment or a friend's request or something like that, and I will help you out. I will talk to you. I will tell you what I know. And I don't give a damn if you've been on eBay for 5 years. If you have some issues, like if you're having slow sales or whatever, or something like that, let me take a look at your store. You know, I got 7 items. Let me take a look at your store, and there might be something that this young buck can show you that could really help your business. So if anybody, you know, needs my help or just wants to say hello or whatever, you can reach me on Facebook. You know, just look for Barry Tubwell. That's me.
Or now they can find you in the end as an admin or a moderator in the Reseller Society.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. Yeah, just today I made admin. Yay!
Yay. All work and no play, just like I said on in the thing, man.
Yeah, this hour's going by pretty quick.
Well, it usually does when we find somebody that, you know, has, you know, passionate about what they do. So,
And we have the last question we have so far is from Mike the Crazy Card. What has been your biggest ROI?
Hands down, that big score, you know, that I bought for. I would say I have maybe $400 into that thing in total for that week. You know what I mean? With the video games and the posters and all that stuff. But hands down, that was the biggest ROI because I put about 400 into it, and I probably got 10 G's out of that. So I mean, that's the biggest score.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's great to find something like that, and it really saddens you when you've milked it dry. You know, like, oh, come on, you got to have something else.
That's true. That's true. But I'll say this: if you ever do have, you know, scores like that, no matter what niche it is, the great thing about a score like that is it shows you that it is possible. You know what I mean? And that if you have your eyes open and you have your cards out there and, you know, you're really just doing more than just waking up, going to source, don't talk to anybody, coming home, get on the computer, don't network with anybody, and just, you know, go through it. You know what I mean? If you're doing more than that, then things like that will come at you. It's just, can you see it or not? Like, I guarantee you, I've missed out on a ton of stuff that I just couldn't see. I don't know about it because I don't have experience. But that'll come with time, and a score like that will make me a lot more curious about any and everything that I see that I think might be good. So,
all right, here's a question I like to ask people. Why do you do this? Why do you resell? I mean, what is it? Is it the passion, making money, or doing, you know, if you're trying to get out of working for the man and want to work for yourself, or is it extra money for a vacation, or do you just keep rolling the money in to build a bigger business? What is it about this business that you love?
Well, the thing is I've always been pretty much independent. You know, I drove taxi. I did online marketing ever since like 2001. Like, you know, I've been independent, doing independent business most of my life. So it was just a natural fit when I stumbled across it. And the thing is I'd rather be doing this than, you know, than pretty much anything else, because at least with this, I can dictate my future. I can dictate my time. I can dictate my energy, you know, and of course, if things don't work out, you're not sourcing and you're not listing. It's just the bottom line. I mean, I'm going to give Nicole State another shout out because she shows you that for 50 cents, you can go to the bins and, you know, pick up items for 50 cents. You know, you might have to get goddamn 500 pounds of that stuff. But, yeah, you know, you can get it done. So, and I'm sorry about my language out there, guys.
Oh, no, you're okay, man. Like I said, we just wanted to make sure you knew it was PG, and we do have some people that are a little, you know, sensitive, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But you're fine. You're fine.
We have a question from Jameson's closet. He wanted to know, was there a marking on the back of that doll?
I looked. She's got a ton of hair, so I'm gonna have to take my time and take her little hair down and stuff like that. But I haven't seen one yet, and I haven't seen one on her back or any other part of her. I do feel kind of weird, looking up in her dress and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, you big pervert. Jeez.
it's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? So.
Yep.
So you say you live with your brother. Do you have a lot of space there? I mean, is it a big house? Do you have outbuildings? Do you have space for inventory? I mean, obviously you quick flip, so you don't need space very often. But suppose you had a truckload come in. Would you have somewhere to store it all?
Not now. I used to though. We used to. We moved from a house to an apartment because a lot less people stay here now. But a few years back when I first came out here, I could have filled up a whole garage with a truckload, and believe me, I would love to buy a truckload of stuff.
Yeah, I figure. I'm sure that's the progression. You get a pallet, a couple boxes, a couple more boxes. Okay, now I need 3 pallets. Okay, now just a whole truck.
Right. Because the thing is too, like as we wind this up, I'll talk a little bit about the swap meet. Selling at the swap meet, man, it's so cool because like all that stuff that you can't sell on eBay and or whatever, it's just not cost effective. Load your car up, your truck up, your van up, bring it out to the swap meet, and our swap meet is just like this. You go there, you pay $30, you get a spot, and you sell. No business license, no none of that, no none of it. It's just cash, boom, bam, done. So it's simple.
Nice. Let's see.
Well, there's still some talk about the doll saying it should be right behind the back. So if you want to help with that, we can do that in the after show. We will be having one. I know Barry will hang out since he's on the West Coast a little bit.
Yeah, it's not even. This is barely dinner time for him.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely hang out.
So do we have any other questions in the chat?
One that I've seen. So.
By the way, if you guys have asked me any direct questions during this, I have the Hangout open and then I have YouTube open, but I haven't clicked on the YouTube thing because I'm not very good at multitasking. I'm really not. I'm sorry, but I'm just really not.
We got most of the questions out. That's why we told you earlier. We'll take them and put them in our chat that way.
And we don't forget. Yeah, we try and get all of them or most of them that make sense to answer. So.
Right, and well, sometimes people say hi, or they might say something to me or whatever. If I didn't reply to you, I'm not ignoring you. I'm not being a jackass or anything. I'm just I just can't multitask too good.
Jameson's closet. He wants to know how to get into the actual. I will be sharing the link to the actual where we're in now in the chat after I end the broadcast, and then you just click the link, and you have to go through the plugin if you have to, or however Google works for you on your computer. I don't know what server you're using, and then you just hop in and talk. We can have up to 10 people at a time. So, well, with all that being said, since we're right about the ending time, I want to thank you, Barry, definitely for being on, especially when it was kind of short notice.
Yeah, it was great to be on. You guys are cool. I like the questions. It was awesome.
Yeah, we have a great chat that usually can pull a lot of information out of a guest, and I think we learned quite a bit from you, and just the fact that how quickly you've come along, being from basically 6 months into the game. So
yeah.
It's doing good.
And I'll say this, in honesty, I'm a lazy person, right? So if I wasn't so lazy, by now I could probably be doing way more stuff. Like I see how people are out there, you know, they're listening to do this, that. I'm super lazy. Like if I wasn't so lazy, you know, wow, man, you know, it could be. So it'll be bigger later, but like my laziness is why I only have 7 items. I could have 70 items that are selling in just a few days, and it maybe it's good for me that I'm lazy, because if I like when I had that big score and I was just putting a lot of items up there and they were selling so much and I had to ship out 30 items a day and stuff like that, man, that was crazy. You know, it's hard to say it drove me crazy when I was making so much money, but it drove me crazy. It really did.
Yeah. First world problems when you have so many sales that you can't ship them all, and I just need a break, and everybody's like, yeah, I wish I had that problem, right?
Well, you can hit them bins and freaking get you 100 pounds of clothes, and you will have those problems for sure.
Silver-haired Stacker said, do you have room for him to crash when he comes to Vegas next?
No, you know, I'm here with my family, so no. But we could definitely hang out, have a couple beers, do some sourcing. It'll be awesome. Yeah, hit me up.
All right. Well, I want to also let everybody know Wednesday night we're gonna have a little bit of a discussion about what to do with the Wayne store. He knows what he wants to do, and we're gonna get everybody's opinion on it. So we will see you Wednesday night at 10 o'clock Eastern time, 8 o'clock Mountain time. So and all the times in between.
Exactly.
So thanks to Wayne again for co-hosting. I know you're gonna get ready to move soon, so this is gonna be coming up to where we're gonna figure out for either getting somebody to come in for you or work around.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping that it won't. I'll be able to do the computer move in a fairly short time, so I may be able to, you know, not run into too many downtime for me. So, but hey, I wanted to thank you also, Barry, for coming in and giving us your little life story here and sharing your time with us, because we know that everybody's reseller's time is money. You know, that's the one thing we can't get enough of is time. So,
My pleasure. Anytime.
All right, everybody. We will see you Wednesday night.
see you.